And welcome on in, everybody. It's your frogman here, King Pepe the Second, bringing you some more Around Us 2 news and the latest on the lovely Apostle slash Beauty slash Onsen Swordfighter slash Bombshell Blade. Right? So, and I do, apologize that my voice sounds a little raspy. I've been sick yet again, yes. So I do apologize if my voice is, you know, like this. However, I do hope that the news that I give you on the Blade here, the new ones that's going to be coming on up, Onsen Blade, is going to help you out make a decision and see where you're going with her as a build and as someone you want to put on a team. Okay? But before we get it started, like and subscribe. Ring that bell icon in case you want more notifications on anything Brown 2 related. I got you covered from guides to just uploading, normal videos of story and fun little shorts that I do from time to time as well. That's it. Okay. So, the newest update that's going to be dropping actually sometime tonight after maintenance for us over here in Global. Let's go take a look. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so this is the new update. Now, gonna just say a little few things here with Ventana first. So she is gonna be the new fated guest. This is something that they talked about. Okay, so Onsen Practitioner Ventana is going to be after the maintenance on January 28th, which is tonight. Okay. So, in case you haven't gotten her right now, she is still in the banner pool. And I believe she's actually lasting until the February 12th. Let me double check. Oh, February 5th. So she is going to be around until February 5th. So in case you want to have the new, in case you want the new, Fated Guest interaction scene with her, just grab a copy of her if you can, if you have the tickets or the gems. That, or you can wait until she is put into the Powder of Hope shop and just unlock her that way. But you need Powder of Hope, by the way. You need 200 Powder of Hope. Okay, but she is going to be in the shop. Okay, so that's the quickest method that you can go for is now, or just wait a little bit. Okay. The thing is, if you're a newer player, all you have to do is just have her unlocked one time, and that's it. Okay. Now going back into what I was talking about with this now. So quick little notes: faded guest story adjustment for Neon Savior Angelica. So part of the later portion of Neon Savior Angelica's faded guest story will be renewed. Full voiceover for the updated story will be implemented in a future update and announced separately. So I'm assuming it's the JP voice acting. I'm assuming right there. I don't believe we even have Sylvia as of right now because if I remember correctly on that, and you can correct me if I am wrong, but if I recall, they were trying to find a new VA for her. I believe for Sylvia's. I think that was the reason what they said last year. Now, mind you guys, that was like I believe at the end of August slash beginning of September, I believe. Um, that they talked about it. But regardless, that's something else entirely with another faded guest story. But this is Neon Savior Angelica they're talking about. So I'm excited to see what they do. So there's that. Avatar feature update. The camera rotation added in the camera mode. Um, so I believe this is actually referring to the Fantasia Square. So in case you guys didn't know or didn't see the update features on their live stream the last time, they were going to have it where you could pick up your little avatar or whoever you picked, right, in the Fantasia Square, and you could drag them, basically hang them upside down. That was the example that they showed. Um, so yeah, it'll be really cute. They're little chibis, by the way, little SD chibis. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I'm gonna showcase it. I'll make a little short of it too, in case you want to check it out. It'll be on my YouTube channel. But yeah, so it's just telling you how to do it. Okay, it's probably gonna be very easy. In fact, like I said, I'll make a little video on it, so no worries about it. Interaction list is path ahead. Hold hands and lift by dragging. Lift by holding the legs. See, cute stuff like that. Okay, so there you have it with that. Motion icon hotkey settings for the PC clients. In the PC client, up to 10 motions can be assigned to hotkeys 0 through 9 from the favorites tab on the motion icon screen. So there you go. Additional fishing feature update. So you're going to be able now to fish with any of your buddies that are online. You're going to be able to go on their ship or vice versa. I think it's like the bigger the ship, the more passengers you can have on it, I believe. Yeah, so as the ship level increases, yeah, more players can board the ship. So yeah, the bigger your ship, basically, the more players can board your ship. You can, hang out, fish, stuff like that. They're going to be adding ship cosmetic skins, so that's another thing. However, the thing with this is, though, they're going to have to find a way where deco coins are going to have to be more of a thing in the game. Because since a lot of this is costing deco coins, and not to mention, you know, fixing and making even your ID tags, customized, that costs deco coins as well as the furniture in your little dorm, right? A lot of that costs deco coins. So now they're adding something where you can get ship skins. So this is what I mean. I hope that they somewhere down the line think about having more ways to collect deco coins, because I think that's something they really do need now. Since they're adding a lot of this quality of life updates, which is awesome. Believe me, it's awesome. I love it. Fantasia Square for me was very fun. It's still fun, and I was actually just talking to my buddy the other day, and saying, like, how you have the mounts, right? So like I got the snowboard for Wilhelmina, and I wanted to jump, but you can't jump because there's no jump function while you're on a mount. So I was like thinking about, what if they added, a a jump feature, right? Where you can jump, maybe not with all the mounts, not to get too crazy, right? But with like the snowboard, for example, like you could, I don't know, jump. I don't. Maybe she will do some little trick in the air. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was just, spitballing ideas with him. We were just BSing back and forth about it. But I mean, doesn't that sound like a good idea? I don't know. What do you guys think? You can tell me what you think in the comments below about it. But yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm like, that would be really awesome to see. Okay, so let's see. Some more information on this. Ship skins are unlocked once the ship reaches max level, though. So that's going to be quite expensive. Because I believe the last ship cost is like 50,000, the upgrade on it. So, well, not 50. Well, I don't know. It could be. Because, like, the next one that I'm at is like 20,000. And so I was just guessing that it would be 50,000 for the next one, because, like, it does get expensive. It was crazy. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's like 30,000. Maybe they just, I don't know. Whoever got up to the maximum the boats, please tell me how much it cost you for that. But yeah, apparently you're gonna have to like level it up all the way. So I know that's kind of a stretch, but hey, it is what it is. Just make sure you have you keep collecting your fish every day, basically, okay? Because you have the auto fishing function. The auto fishing. The new fishing area, abyssal anglerfish, will be added, so a new fishing hole that you can go fish on. Okay. And then here's some other things for the fishing and what to look forward to. 2 new fishing rods have been added to the fishing shop. A new fish acquisition animation has been added when catching fish during auto fishing. Camera controls are now available during auto fishing. Recommended levels are now displayed for each fishing area, and new skill mechanics have been added to certain fish. New fishing missions have been added. New fishing related achievements, titles, and stickers have been added. Cooperative related information is added to the fishing guidebook. Okay. So there you go. So here's some other ones that, in case you want to read the dev notes, I'll also have the link for it in my description below. For anything else that you want to read and get notice of, because I want to cover now, obviously, everyone's been expecting this one, right? The lovely Blade. Okay, so open your ears and let's take a dive in. Okay, so Onsen Swordfighter, Blade costume, and Blade's exclusive gear, Blade, will be available for pickup. So after the maintenance on January 28th, which is tonight for us, right? I think it's like about 4 hours-ish, basically. It'll happen. Okay, so let's take a look at her skills. So Onsen Swordfighter Blade, she's a darkness type, so a dark elemental. Her range is a cross shape, so it looks like it covers not a huge, AoE, but it does look, substantial. Knockback is diagonal. Okay, so +0. Okay, so I'm going to read it at +0, and then we're going to just go down the list here, right, with the plussing. So +0, her SP cost is 4. Her cooldown time is 5. So she deals physical damage to the enemy equal to 350% of your attack. Deal additional damage equal to 70% of attack for each debuff on the enemy. So when you reach the +1, her SP cost goes down by 1 point to 3. So obviously, you want to always go for a copy. 90% of the costumes in this game are always like that. Okay, so there you go. You can either unlock it in the pull system, or you can just wait until the Powder of Hope shop, where she'll be available after the update. Okay. Okay, so at +2, her physical damage to the enemy goes up by 75% to 220 to 425%. +3, the additional damage for each debuff goes up by 20%, so it goes from 70% to 90%. At +4, the physical damage to the enemy equals to 500%, so it goes up by another 75%. And then at +5, the additional damage equal to 110% of attack for each debuff on the enemy, so it goes up by another 20%. Okay, so we're looking at the skill tree now. Skill potential, damage 50%, damage 50%, so it looks like another 100%. So physical damage to the enemy, we're going to say for the sake of at +5, it'll be 500, it'll be 600, okay? And then additional damage, it'll be 10%. Again, for the sake of this, at +5, it'll be, instead of 110%, it'll be 120%. Okay? So there you have it. What do you guys think? That's a good number? I think so. She's strong regardless, you know? Okay. So, let's dive in a little bit about her, right? So, if we take a closer look at Blade, right? Among other things, we look at Blade here, correct? Okay, so this is my Blade, right? So this is what I have equipped on her, right? So now my Apostle Blade and my Young Lady Blade are obviously a +5. However, I just wanted to show you that, you know, as a DPS unit here and as a counter type, she is still one of the strongest in this game. I gotta say she is. The only thing that she lacks that keeps her or prevents her from being overpowering in the game overall is her health, right? So that's why, you know, I'm sure the devs thought about that too, right? Because her health is like non-existent, you see? So you would have to add a little bit of HP on her if you wanted to have her have some HP, you know, craft some gear or put some substats that have HP in it. But yeah, so that's the thing with her though, however, you know? Very strong. She can literally one-shot enemies with just her skill alone because it covers everybody. It doesn't cover that just that one enemy that hits her. It's everybody on the field, right? So obviously you see my numbers here, you know, they're pretty high, right? Now, if we go and we take a look at Young Lady Blade, okay? So she applies a, well, now for the sake of this, +5, she applies a 150% vulnerability physical to the main targets. But her range, when you level up the skill tree, is 9 tiles. So if we now look at Onsen Blade, right, her damage is going to be extra when it comes to the debuffing on the enemy, okay, for each debuff now, mind you. So what does it say as Blade as a whole? It says that, yes, she is a super badass and a very heavy hitter in this game. Only thing she lacks is health, correct? So if you're a newer player to this, I would suggest this. Now, seeing as how Blade is somebody that I would say, you know, I wouldn't say she's like an endgame type character, but I would also say that she's not really for beginners either. Just for the fact that, you know, you still have to have some plussing involved with her costumes, okay? And you also have to have the resources, right? So if you do go for Onsen Swordfighter Blade, just keep that in mind. You know, I would honestly try and at least go for Young Lady Blade, just for the fact that she applies physical vulnerability to the enemy, which is in this case a debuff on the enemy. So right then and there, you have a costume in her lineup that can apply a debuff. So that's really cool, right? So as for the countering one, that's not a debuff. Even though, I mean, it's technically known as one because obviously if you go into PvP and you use Shada to, debuff the opponent's blade if they're using Apostle, if they're using Apostle Blade, right, PvP, obviously she'll get debuffed. That's what I mean. It's like kind of iffy, but like you know what I'm trying to say, right? But like I said, I would though go for young lady Blade, okay? Just for the fact that you can debuff targets, right? And she has a very big AoE field, as you can clearly see. When you level up the skill tree, it goes up to 9 tiles because this is actually from the skill tree, okay? Because if we look, it's not. It's like 6 tiles, and then upgrade, it's all 9 tiles, right? Okay, so yeah. Now, team-wise, what can we say with her? Well, anybody that basically applies a debuff, in all honesty. Okay, so my team that I came out with in my mind with this one, I put obviously Liberta is going to stand here just for the fact that, yes, she increases attack percentage, and yes, she also has that sweet 50% crit rate, right? So Liberta to me is a no-brainer. Now, as for the other 3 characters, I put Rafina down. My Rafina isn't the strongest, and obviously I'm going to work on her. But she also applies a physical vulnerability on the enemy. It's actually an AoE field. It's 9 tiles. Okay, if we take a look at her. I know, mine isn't. I know she's not built. I'm aware of this, okay? But if we take a look at her, right? So her range is 9 tiles. Physical vulnerability she applies to, right? If you level her up at the wazoo, obviously this number will be higher for you guys. And, if you have her built and whatnot, right? SP cost goes down by 1 point, so it goes down to 3. Her cooldown time is 5. So, yeah. I mean, she is nice to have. Plus, she works well with Blade and any other physical, damage user. Then you also have Elenier. Elenier only has, however, one costume that applies a debuff, which is her idle one. If we take a look here. So like yeah, so she applies silence as well, so that's also another debuff, right? So she applies 2. So when you think about it, she applies 2 of them. So that's an extra debuff that you can use with Blade here, because like it says, for each she deals additional damage equal to so-and-so percentage of attack for each debuff on the enemy. So right then and there, that's 2 debuffs. Now, I know it says apply silence to the enemy is for 2 turns. So what you would have to do is she would have to attack first before Blade, obviously. Okay? And then that would count towards the extra debuff and Blade's Onsen doing extra damage, right? So she applies 2 because also defense reduction for 2 turns. Plus, the really cool thing about Idol Elenier is that her cooldown time is only 3. So that's a really cool thing. If you do have a well-built Elenier, right, and you leveled up her skill tree, because obviously C, and also it does apply the reduce defense for enemies as well, then right there you do have a nice build. Now, technically, she doesn't have to be built out the wazoo. You just want the debuff, if anything. So technically, even if you have her unlocked and you don't have him pluster or anything like that, you can still just have the debuffs themselves. Just level up the skill tree. And you should just have that applied regardless to Onsen Blade, right? Now, I also picked Allstein because he also does silence the enemy too, but he does it on an AoE scale. I know, guys. It's a dude. Oh my gosh, I know. But hear me out. So, if you look at his range, it is the entire field. It's 9 tiles. So that's if you run into a huge group of enemies, right, and you want to use Onsen Blade, boom, like he just got the entire field for you. So yeah, all those enemies, they're applied with silence. So yeah, that's another cool thing to look at, okay? With that. So keep that in mind. And plus, he also restores SP points, and that's a really nice thing. Now, you can just go and look at, every character that applies, debuffs, and just really work it into Blade's rotation. I just use these as examples, mind you, okay? Just to give you a little insight on what to, look to and stuff. Um, and now, the thing is, however, I'm only using one buffer on this team, correct? And that's only Liberta. So keep that in mind, guys, okay? That, you can only put 4 more slots in besides Blade here, okay? Obviously, I'll be testing her out. I'll be, going back and forth with this um, to see what works best for her. But it's all about experimenting at this point with this, you know. As for her other costumes, when it comes to just overall strength, I would still say Lady Blade, Young Lady Blade, and Apostle Blade. Um, they're still the strongest out of them. I would say even so for with the Young Lady Blade. I would say is a little bit stronger than Apostle Blade, just for the fact that she can apply vulnerability, right? Physical vulnerability to the enemy on an AoE scale, you know. But that's just me. Obviously, the heavy hitter though is her Apostle one, so do keep that in mind, okay? But yeah, I'm not saying that Onsen Blade isn't weak or anything. Like she's still strong, but to get the additional damage, you are gonna have to have and apply debuffs on the enemy. Does that make sense? So do keep that in mind, okay? Um, the newest boss that's going to be releasing is the bird, right? So we're going to talk about that a little later here. So yeah, after the update, guys, she'll be added to the Powder of Hope shop. Okay. Man, this cough is killing me. I do apologize. But I really wanted to make this video. I did not want to pass up on Blade. Okay, and then obviously we have her sword, Blade. So do you need it? No, you don't need to roll for it if you want to save your gems, because next month, guys, they are unveiling 2 new characters, so keep that in mind, okay? So if you want to save up your tickets, your gems, and you want to hold out a little bit longer, you can just craft simple UR gear, okay? The Dragon Sword and the Hammer are your best bets when it comes to that for alternative UR gear. So that's all I really wanted to say with it, okay? Uh, Anything else I want to say with Blade, though? I mean, honestly, guys, it's totally up to you what you want to do with that information. Um, but I would say having at least Young Lady Blade in the lineup would be nice, because that's another, like, debuff right there for her, But yeah, so we're going to now look at the release, well, not release, but rerun for Alec. I know, it's another dude. He does fixed damage. He's not really, used in the game. I don't even use him, right? It's kind of just there. In case you are interested, though, I'll cover him really quickly. So, +0, attack the enemy 3 times, dealing fixed damage equal to 100% of your attack per hit. His range is really odd because it's like a diagonal attack. As you can see, it's only 2 spaces, too. So, it's not really something that, That's what I said. He's not really used in this. His SP cost goes down by 1 at +3. So that's, that's kind of like, do I really want to? Not really. SP cost goes down by another point, it looks like, with the skill tree. So I guess it does go down, but, to get it to SP with 2, you have to be at +3 with him. Cooldown time goes down by 2 turns, so it'll be like 3 turns here. And he also adds 60% more fixed damage, so for a total of 300% if you have him at +5. He attacks the enemy 3 times as well. But yeah, that range is the one thing that's kind of kills it for his costume. I'm gonna be honest with that. He'll be added also to the Powder of Hope shop after his banner pull. And then here's his weapon. Do you have to go for it? Not really. Yet again, you can just use the Dragon Sword or the Hammer, just like Blade, as an alternative. Okay? Costume and exclusive gear scheduling. The costume pickup schedule is here. I'll read it out loud so you guys can can hear it. So after January 14th, before February 11th maintenance, new Shrine Maiden of Purification Grenadier and the Queen of Gluty Grenadier, or Glutis, I mean, they're going to be added until the, until the 11th, okay? And then they're going to be gone. And then they're going to be put in the Powder of Hope shop, though, okay? Because none of these are limited, okay? Keep that in mind. None of them are limited. So, and they also extended them, by the way. So remember that. They did get an extension with their banner pool. So if you didn't get them right now, okay, and you really want to, I would highly suggest thinking about this pulling in the next banner run, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you this. When it comes to supporters in the game, you always want to have supporters because they're the ones that are going to give you the extra damage, okay? And I got to say, playing and having Queen of Glutis Grenadier especially really improved the magic builds in this game. Like, really, they did. And I'm looking forward to seeing some more supporters for Magic in the future. So yeah, she was really helpful, and I would highly recommend going for her because if you're a Magic builder in the game, and also if you're new to the game and you chose Magic, she is actually a great addition besides Helena. Okay, Be Idle Helena. So I would think about it. New Shrine Maiden of Purification Grenadier. I would say that she is very nice to have as well because she basically turns any, what was it? I think it was any debuffs on you. Give me a moment. Yeah, she absorbs debuffs from allies. For each debuff absorbed, she gets that one ally stack of 10% augmentation. Okay, yeah. So basically, she's like kind of like the opposite of Blade's effect. When it comes to this, so opposite of Blade's effect, Grenadier absorbs the debuffs from allies, and she turns it basically into augmentation damage for them. Okay, but she only gives one ally it though. Okay. So keep that in mind. However, she does give augmentation, increasing their damage dealt to the rest of your team though. However, okay. So yeah, I would say all in all, Grenadier is a must-have. Okay. Now for Onsen Manager Liberta and the Onsen Practitioner Ventana, I did videos on them. I talked a little bit about them. I'll just do it really quickly. Onsen Manager Liberta, she's excellent for chain damage, stacking for augmentation for any of your DPS units. She is a must to have a +5, especially for all content in general. Okay. Onsen Practitioner Ventana, I said in my last videos, right, I said that she is actually an investment, and she still is in my eyes. But if you still want to go for it, and also, like I said, she is getting the new Fated Guest interaction scene, just grab a copy of her from either this banner pool, and, you know, or just wait until she's put in the Powder of Hope shop, and then just, you know, enjoy the interaction scene with her. But I would say that Ventana is still a very heavy hitter. However, her greatest strengths are, like, single target enemies, basically. And you really do need to have Zenith paired with her because they're the actual, like, power duo in this game too, right? But it's like you really do need to have Zenith with Ventana because Ventana does extra damage when an enemy is under taunt or concentrated fire. And since a lot of us use concentrated fire a lot more with Zenith, she's used more than in return. And she also applies light vulnerability with her Onsen costume as well. So that means that you can actually use, like, I used Poolside Raphethia because she gives more light property damage to any light elementals. So I was like, okay, so I put her on the team, right? Put Deanna, right? Thing is because Ventana's Onsen does apply light vulnerability. So she basically gives it to any enemy. It doesn't have to be a dark elemental type. She can literally give it to a fire elemental type if she wants to. That's what's so cool about her, right? But having her other costumes, however, for rotation is key. So she is an investment, okay? And then Onsen Swordfighter Blade, obviously she's going to be unlocked very, very soon in the next several hours. And then Swordbreaker Alec, he'll be added. on January 28th through February 4th. And then they're rerunning Apostle Blade on February 5th through February 18th. So you do have a chance to get Apostle Blade if you did not get her yet, okay? Because I know when they did last year, I think it was actually in November, if I'm not mistaken, they did a rerun for Lady Blade, Young Lady Blade, right? I'm not sure if they'll do another rerun of her. They might. Who knows? They might even have her a little later in the Powder of Hope shop. I don't know. But they are rerunning her, so if you are interested in building up your Blade, okay, and other costumes, I would think about it. But that's totally up to you. She'll also be added to the Powder of Hope shop. And not to mention, Apostle Blade is also found in character pack or story pack 15. Okay, once you complete it, you can actually recruit her. So keep that in mind. Okay. You can also recruit Dark Saintess Liberta as well. They are in the same story pack. You can recruit them. Okay. So that in there is a free unlockable of both of them. And also, if you do have them, you can just freely plus them. Okay, keep that in mind. I want to just say that as a reminder. Apostle Blade is in Story Pack 15 to recruit for free. All you need to have is a one of those rainbow scrolls, basically, the 5-star scrolls to recruit them with. Okay? And then the exclusive gear lineup is the same lineup as the costume pickup schedule. Okay? Like I said, you don't really need the exclusive gears. That's more, in a lot of ways, like for collection, or if you want the extra damage, basically. But you can get away with the alternatives with crafting. Okay. Powder Hope shop schedule. Snow White Ventana will be put in. The Fiend Scholar Ulstein. Deal Snatcher Luvencia. And Beach Vacation Eclipse are going to be put in the Powder of Hope shop in this upcoming update. Okay. Quick thing I'll say about Luvencia. Yes, she is very helpful for chain stacking. I still say she is a powerful Dark Elemental type, as well as adding chain stacks, because she also has her Wild Dog Luvencia, which does the same thing. Okay? Beach Vacation Eclipse, I would say that she's really nice still to this day, especially when they buffed her. However, the thing is, she's kind of iffy because of the cooldown time on her attack, because it's like 11 turns still. So you're really only going to get one good hit in if you're going up against regular PvE enemies in the game. So that's the thing about her. Now, with the additional release, though, however, of Grenadier, right? With Gluteus Grenadier especially, you know, you're going to get some extra magic damage in there with her, okay? But I would highly recommend having other Eclipse costumes, because you're going to have to rotate them. Because this one, as sexy as it looks, right? Because it's Eclipse. You're going to be a sitting duck out there if you don't have another costume with her. So keep that in mind. Okay, so Mirror War shop still has B-Rank Idol Seer, and Golden Thread shop still has Lovely Lady Elise. And here's another thing. Lovely Lady Elise also has a debuff where she applies to the enemy, reducing their defense and magic resistance at the same time by 50% each. Okay? So there's another thing. And then here are all the issues that were fixed, and that's really about it. So, what do you guys think about the video? Did it answer all your questions? Did it get some points across with Blade? I hope it did. But yeah, so all in all, the new Blade, in my opinion, I think she'll be strong. However, I still believe that her other costumes are a little stronger. Okay? However, I'm still going to go for her. I'm still going to +5 her because I love her. Okay? Ever since I first played with her in Story Pack 4, she's been someone I've always wanted in the game. Okay? So I'm very happy that she's going to have her, finally, her Onsen one. I've been waiting for that one since last year now. Okay? Ever since they did the first Onsen event story. So yeah, there you have it. So with that being said, guys, I'll catch you all later. Stay safe and healthy. Stay classy. Good luck on your pulls. And I'll return with 2 more videos, actually. Yeah, 2 more videos. One showcasing Blade and another showcasing the new functions for the Fantasia Square on both the videos and YouTube Shorts. So check me out, okay? Take care, guys.